Here are my 3 biggest tips for French horn players who are transitioning to mellophone this marching season. Hi, my name is Emily, and I created the Mellophone Bootcamp, a comprehensive training program for brand new mellophone students, so you feel confident and successful this first marching season. So, for French horn players transitioning to mellophone, my first biggest tip is to think about the length of the instrument. You just came from playing an 18 to 20 foot instrument on the French horn, and now you're on the mellophone, and it's about 6 feet long. So that's less than half of the French horn length. So it's really easy to overblow on the mellophone when you're a French horn player. So I'm not saying to use less air, but we need to control it a bit more. It's really easy to blow it sharp and to just blast out and be too bright. And so we need to think about, all right, this is a shorter instrument and I want to control my airstream. So just be aware that it's easy to overblow. The second consideration is you might consider adjusting your embouchure going from horn to mellophone. And what I mean is we're so used to, and I know this is a mellophone, but the French horn, which has a slightly downward lead pipe angle, and the majority of us have an overbite, meaning our upper teeth kind of go a little bit over our bottom teeth. So on French horn with that downward angle, it's kind of a natural position to keep both lips involved in vibrating and creating a sound. Now, on mellophone, we're above parallel, so it's much higher, and we want to make sure that bottom lip is still involved. When both lips vibrate, it creates a more centered, resonant sound. So on mellophone, you might consider pouting your bottom lip a little bit more into the mouthpiece. I find that allows students to have a fuller sound, making sure your bottom lip is more involved. And the third thing is mouthpiece. And I've talked a lot about that on this page, but we want to make sure that we're playing on a mellophone mouthpiece, a mellophone specific mouthpiece versus a French horn mouthpiece and adapter. And the reason is the French horn mouthpiece is has a much deeper cup. The mellophone mouthpiece is a bit more shallow, which pairs perfectly with the range of the mellophone and the style and range that you're going to be playing in. So if it's too deep of a cup, our lips are going to need to manipulate more to get across their range, and we want to make it easier for our face. Also, the stem of the mouthpiece for the mellophone is perfectly matched to the stem here, which makes intonation so much easier. So you want to make sure that you're playing on a mellophone specific mouthpiece.